Have you ever found yourself drifting on the softest edges of wakefulness, where the bustling world outside begins to dissolve and a new, inner stillness starts to bloom? It's a gentle, almost imperceptible transformation, isn't it? This quiet unfolding of the self as it prepares for its nightly voyage into the deep, tranquil seas of sleep. Even before we fully surrender to slumber's profound embrace, there's a curious, continuous slowing that begins within the intricate pathways of our bodies and minds, a silent dimming of the bright, sharp edges of awareness, a subtle reweaving of sensations that hints at a profound, yet often overlooked, magic residing within us. We slip from the active, defined contours of our busy day into a landscape where the familiar rhythms of waking life become wonderfully pliable, like soft clay beneath a potter's gentle, shaping hands, ready to be molded by the quiet currents of rest. Consider for a moment the common, wondrous miracle of deep sleep. It is a state of profound physiological rest, where your breath deepens, your heart rate slows its steady beat, and your muscles release their hold, becoming soft and yielding. In this precious embrace, your body performs its silent, essential work of repair and restoration, mending the subtle wear of the day, replenishing its precious stores of energy, and consolidating the delicate threads of memory. While your conscious mind may feel utterly absent, drifting in realms unknown, a vast, complex symphony of biological processes continues, unseen and unhurried. This is not idleness, but a deeper, more profound form of activity, a quiet, continuous hum of life diligently working to sustain your very being. Think of an ancient, tranquil lake, its surface perfectly still under a vast, dark sky. Beneath this calm exterior, countless unseen currents continue their slow, perpetual flow, carrying nutrients, shaping the lakebed, and sustaining the myriad forms of life that reside in its depths. The surface stillness is merely a reflection of a deeper, enduring movement. Our body in deep sleep is like this lake, outwardly still, yet inwardly teeming with the quiet, vital processes that ensure its continued vitality. This ability of complex biological systems to enter states of profound deceleration, to seemingly pause their active engagement with the world while maintaining their fundamental essence, is a testament to the remarkable ingenuity of life itself. It suggests a deep, inherent wisdom within all living things, a capacity for profound rest that serves as the foundation for vibrant awakening. But now, let us consider how this profound stillness of rest affects our senses. Often, in the quiet of a dark room, when the external world ceases its insistent demands, our senses seem to subtly sharpen, becoming more attuned to the slightest whisper or vibration. A faint creak in the floorboards that went unnoticed during the day might now register with remarkable clarity. The gentle hum of distant machinery, once lost in the cacophony of daily life, now becomes a discernible presence. This isn't just about the absence of noise, it's about a redirection of our awareness, a gentle turning inward that allows the subtle receptors of our body to become exquisitely sensitive, picking up signals that are usually drowned out by the vibrant symphony of waking activity. Imagine a soft blanket of snow falling, muffling the sounds of the world. In this quiet stillness, the faintest distant bark of a dog, or the almost imperceptible rustle of leaves, becomes distinct. Similarly, as our minds settle into the prelude of sleep, our hearing might stretch to encompass the soft murmur of the wind outside, or the almost inaudible ticking of a clock. Our skin might become more aware of the gentle brush of the bedsheets, or the subtle currents of cool air in the room. This heightened awareness and stillness hints at a deeper capacity within our sensory systems, a sensitivity that is always present, but often obscured by the demands of conscious attention. This quiet sharpening of our senses during rest is a beautiful metaphor for the way many animals experience the world continuously. Unlike humans, whose dominant sense is often sight and whose attention is largely consumed by complex thought and language, many animals rely profoundly on other, often more subtle, sensory inputs. Their very survival hinges on their ability to perceive nuances in their environment that remain invisible or inaudible to us. A deer might feel the subtle vibrations of approaching footsteps through the ground long before it hears a sound. A bird might sense minute changes in air pressure before a storm is visibly apparent. These are not supernatural abilities, but exquisite adaptations, a constant state of heightened awareness born from their intimate connection to the natural world. Think of a dog's remarkable sense of smell, capable of detecting faint traces of scent that are utterly imperceptible to the human nose, or a bat's extraordinary ability to navigate and hunt in complete darkness using echolocation, interpreting the subtle echoes of its own high-pitched calls. These are not merely stronger versions of human senses, they are entirely different windows onto reality, allowing these animals to perceive dimensions of their environment that we can only imagine. Their lives are a continuous symphony of subtle inputs, a rich tapestry woven from sounds, smells, vibrations, and perhaps even energetic fields that lie beyond our conventional perception. This leads us to a gentle, intriguing question: if our own senses become sharper in moments of profound stillness, and if animals possess senses far more finely tuned to the subtle whispers of their environment, could it be that some animals possess an innate ability to perceive the faint, precursory signs of natural disasters? Could their heightened senses, in their own unique ways, be attuned to the subtle shifts in the Earth's rhythms, the imperceptible changes in the air, or the faint vibrations deep beneath the ground that precede a major event like an earthquake, a tsunami, or a volcanic eruption? This isn't about magical prediction, but about extraordinary sensitivity, a profound connection to the planet's quiet, continuous pulse. This contemplation of animal senses and their potential for early warning is not meant to stir alarm or fear of impending disaster. Instead, it invites a deeper appreciation for the intricate web of life on Earth and the astonishing diversity of ways in which living beings interact with their environment. It's a gentle nudge to recognize that our human-centric view of the world is but one perspective, and that other creatures might perceive deeper, more fundamental truths about our shared planet, simply by virtue of their unique sensory windows. It calls for humility and a quiet curiosity, a willingness to listen to the whispers of the natural world, even if we don't fully understand their language. As you drift deeper into the quiet stillness, let the image of your sharpening senses in sleep and the profound sensitivity of animal senses bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within all living things, silently working to perceive, to adapt, and to exist in harmony with their environment, even as your conscious thoughts begin to softly dissipate. There is no need to actively solve the grand mystery of animal prediction. Simply allow this beautiful, internal work of contemplation to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of nature's profound sensory world. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissipate like a wisp of mist in the cool night air. You are safe, you are warm, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle, persistent hum of sensitive life. All is calm, all is clear, as the whispers from the deep slumber of senses guide you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As the soft whispers from the deep slumber of our senses gently recede, and the edges of our familiar waking world gradually soften into a tranquil twilight, we are invited to consider a deeper, more subtle layer of existence, the vast and intricate world of sound and vibration. We often perceive our environment through the lens of human hearing, picking up the familiar chirping of birds, the gentle murmur of voices, or the soft rustle of leaves. But what if, just like a distant, luminous object seen through a gentle haze, reality is teeming with unheard frequencies and imperceptible tremors, constantly communicating messages that are beyond the reach of our own ears and touch, yet profoundly understood by many other living beings. Imagine, if you will, that our planet is a colossal, ancient drum, constantly resonating with countless subtle rhythms and vibrations, most of which remain utterly silent to human ears. While we hear a limited spectrum of sound, the frequencies within which human conversation unfolds. The natural world is a much richer auditory landscape. There are sounds far below our hearing threshold, known as infrasound, and sounds far above, known as ultrasound. These are not just abstract concepts. They are the unseen, unheard whispers of the earth and its inhabitants, constantly flowing through the air, water, and even the solid ground beneath our feet. Think of infrasound. For instance, these are incredibly low-frequency vibrations, much like the deepest, most resonant notes on a grand pipe organ, but often too low for our ears to register as distinct sounds. Yet, these long, slow waves can travel immense distances through the air and even through the Earth's crust. Volcanic eruptions, distant storms, oceanic waves, and even seismic activity beneath the ground can generate infrasound. While a human might feel nothing, a large animal, with its finely tuned auditory system, might perceive these low-frequency murmurs as a profound, pervasive vibration. It's like feeling the deep, resonant thrum of a distant, unseen machine, a subtle pressure against one's entire being, long before any visible signs of its operation appear. Consider the majestic elephants. Their calls can contain significant infrasound components, allowing them to communicate across vast distances, even miles away, often through the very ground. They possess specialized sensory receptors in their feet that are exquisitely sensitive to ground vibrations, allowing them to detect seismic waves generated by distant events. An elephant might hear the approach of a faraway thunderstorm not through its ears, but through the gentle tremors propagating through the earth, felt by its sensitive souls. This isn't magic. It's a profound physiological adaptation, a deep connection to the earth's subtle rhythms. Conversely, think of ultrasound. These are incredibly high-frequency sounds, beyond the range of human hearing, like a tiny, high-pitched whistle too shrill for our ears to discern. Yet, the natural world is filled with these unheard melodies. Bats, for example, are masters of ultrasound, emitting high-frequency clicks and then interpreting the echoes to navigate and hunt in complete darkness. Dolphins and whales use complex ultrasonic clicks and whistles for navigation, communication, and hunting in the deep, murky waters of the ocean, painting a detailed sonic picture of their underwater world. Their lives are a continuous symphony of these unheard frequencies, revealing a reality that is rich with detail and unseen interactions. Beyond audible sound, the world is also alive with vibrations that travel through solid surfaces. Earthquakes, even minor ones, generate seismic waves that propagate through the ground. The very movement of tectonic plates, far beneath our feet, creates continuous, low-frequency tremors that are imperceptible to humans. Yet, many animals, particularly those with sensitive paws, feet, or even specialized internal organs, are exquisitely attuned to these subtle ground vibrations. A snake, for instance, can hear approaching footsteps not through its ears, but through the delicate vibrations transmitted through the ground to its jawbone. This profound sensitivity allows them to perceive shifts in their environment long before any conventional sensory input would register. This leads us to a gentle, intriguing question. If animals possess these extraordinary sensory windows onto the world of infrasound, ultrasound, and subtle vibrations, could it be that these senses allow them to perceive the faint, precursory signs of natural disasters? Could the low-frequency rumblings deep within the earth that precede an earthquake, the subtle changes in atmospheric pressure before a violent storm, or the imperceptible ground tremors preceding a volcanic eruption, be the very signals that animals are uniquely equipped to perceive. This isn't about supernatural prediction, it's about extraordinary biological sensitivity, a profound connection to the planet's continuous, often unheard, pulse. The presence of these diverse sensory worlds reminds us of our own limitations and the richness of existence that unfolds beyond our immediate perception. It's a humbling thought, a gentle invitation to consider that other living beings might inhabit a far more intricate and dynamically communicative planet than we typically allow ourselves to imagine. The world is alive with countless whispers and tremors, and animals are often its most attentive listeners, its most sensitive feelers. This contemplation of the world of sound and vibration, and its profound implications for animal perception, is not meant to stir alarm or fear of impending disaster. Instead, it invites a deeper appreciation for the intricate web of life on Earth and the astonishing diversity of ways in which living beings interact with their environment. It's a gentle nudge to recognize that our human-centric view of the world is but one perspective, and that other creatures might perceive deeper, more fundamental truths about our shared planet, simply by virtue of their unique sensory windows. It calls for humility and a quiet curiosity, a willingness to listen to the whispers of the natural world, even if we don't fully understand their language. As you drift deeper into the quiet stillness, let the image of this gentle haze of unheard frequencies and imperceptible vibrations envelop you. Feel the vastness of the world of sound and vibration, the quiet hum of unseen energy flowing through air, water, and earth. There is no urgency here, no need to grasp at concrete answers. Simply allow the profound sense of subtle communication and hidden depths to wash over you, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of the Earth's resonant pulse. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissipate like a wisp of mist in the cool, dawn air. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle but persistent hum of the world of sound and vibration. All is calm, all is clear, as the gentle haze of unheard frequencies guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we gently drift deeper into the serene landscape of hidden perceptions, softly moving through the subtle haze of unheard sounds and unseen vibrations, we now approach a profoundly intimate connection, the subtle, continuous activity of the Earth itself. Imagine, for a quiet moment, our planet not as a rigid, inert sphere, but as a vast, living entity, perpetually breathing, stirring, and resonating with countless internal rhythms. Deep within its silent core, and along the immense, slow-moving boundaries of its tectonic plates, there are continuous, imperceptible shifts, quiet tremors, and subtle releases of energy that are utterly beyond our human awareness. These are the Earth's gentle breaths, and their faintest echoes might be perceived by the finely tuned senses of the animal kingdom. We often think of geological activity in terms of dramatic events, the sudden, powerful jolt of an earthquake, the fiery spectacle of a volcanic eruption, or the immense roar of a tsunami. These are indeed moments of intense planetary energy. However, beneath the surface of these dramatic occurrences, the Earth is engaged in a ceaseless, much quieter dance. The colossal tectonic plates that form our planet's crust are never truly still. They are constantly, albeit imperceptibly, grinding, sliding, and pushing against each other, driven by the immense slow currents of molten rock deep within the Earth's mantle. This is a continuous, pervasive process, happening over vast stretches of geological time, a subtle and rhythmic pulse of the planet itself. Think of an ancient, colossal tree, its roots reaching deep into the earth. Even when the tree appears perfectly still, Its vast root system is continuously, slowly growing, subtly pushing against the soil, adapting to the contours of the earth. These movements are too slow for us to perceive, yet they are constant and powerful. Similarly, the Earth's tectonic plates are engaged in a perpetual, slow-motion ballet, their movements creating subtle stresses and strains within the crust. These stresses can generate tiny, low-frequency vibrations, microtremors that are too faint for human ears or our direct senses to detect, but which might resonate profoundly with the heightened sensitivities of certain animals. Consider the intricate way that the Earth releases gases from its crust. Volcanic areas, fault lines, and even vast geological basins can subtly, continuously release gases like radon, helium, or methane. These emissions might increase or change composition in the lead up to seismic events, as pressures build beneath the surface. To humans, these changes are odorless, tasteless, and invisible, dissipated by the vastness of the atmosphere. But for an animal with an exquisitely sensitive sense of smell or specialized chemoreceptors, these subtle atmospheric shifts might be like a distinct, unsettling whisper on the wind, a faint change in the very scent of the air, signaling an unseen alteration deep within the ground. It's like a quiet, continuous exhalation from the earth itself, and certain creatures are uniquely attuned to its delicate fragrance. Beyond gases, there's the possibility of subtle changes in electromagnetic fields. Deep within the Earth, the churning of its molten iron core generates the planet's magnetic field, a vast, invisible shield protecting us from solar radiation. Geological stresses, particularly along fault lines, can theoretically induce tiny, localized fluctuations in these electromagnetic fields, creating imperceptible noise that might radiate outwards. While humans possess no conscious organ for sensing these subtle field changes, many animals, particularly those that navigate using the Earth's magnetic field like migratory birds or sea turtles, possess specialized magnetoreceptors. For these creatures, an anomalous flicker in the Earth's magnetic landscape might be a profound, unsettling signal, a subtle disruption in their internal compass, hinting at an impending planetary event. These subtle physical phenomena, the microtremors, the gas emissions, the electromagnetic fluctuations are not dramatic forces. They are the Earth's quiet, continuous breath, often amplified or subtly altered by the increasing stress that precedes a major geological event. They represent a symphony of faint signals, utterly imperceptible to our dominant human senses, yet potentially loud and clear to the specialized sensory apparatus of the animal kingdom. This leads us to a gentle, intriguing question. Yeah, if animals possess these extraordinary sensory windows onto the subtle pulse of the earth, could it be that these senses allow them to perceive the faint, precursory signs of natural disasters? Could the low-frequency rumblings deep within the earth that precede an earthquake, the subtle changes in atmospheric pressure or gas composition before a volcanic eruption, or the imperceptible electromagnetic shifts that precede a major seismic event, be the very signals that animals are uniquely equipped to perceive? This isn't about supernatural prediction. It's about extraordinary biological sensitivity, a profound connection to the planet's continuous, often unheard, pulse. The animal kingdom, having evolved in intimate communion with the earth for millions of years, might possess a wisdom encoded in their very physiology, allowing them to read the subtle language of the planet's internal dialogue. This contemplation of the earth's gentle breath and its profound implications for animal perception is not meant to stir alarm or fear of impending disaster. Instead, it invites a deeper appreciation for the intricate web of life on Earth and the astonishing diversity of ways in which living beings interact with their environment. It's a gentle nudge to recognize that our human-centric view of the world is but one perspective, and that other creatures might perceive deeper, more fundamental truths about our shared planet, simply by virtue of their unique sensory windows. It calls for humility and a quiet curiosity, a willingness to listen to the whispers of the natural world, even if we don't fully understand their language. For within those whispers might lie profound insights into the rhythms of our home. As you drift deeper into the quiet stillness, let the image of the Earth's gentle, continuous breath envelop you. Feel the subtle dance of geological activity at the very foundation of our world. The quiet hum of unseen energy flowing from deep within. There is no urgency here, no need to grasp at concrete answers. Simply allow the profound sense of subtle communication and hidden depths to wash over you, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of the Earth's resonant pulse. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissipate like a wisp of mist in the cool, dawn air. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle, persistent echoes from the Earth's gentle breath. All is calm, all is clear, as the profound stillness of the planet's inner life guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we gently drift deeper into the serene landscape of hidden perceptions, softly moving through the echoing breaths of the Earth's subtle stirrings, we now turn our attention to the profound and intricate connection that binds the wild animal kingdom to its natural environment. Imagine, for a quiet moment, that the entire living world, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, is not a collection of separate, independent beings, but a magnificent, shimmering tapestry, impossibly intricate and endlessly flowing. Every creature at every plant, every whisper of the wind, and every shift in the earth is subtly and mysteriously interwoven, not just by visible interactions, but by invisible threads of sensory information that silently guide their very existence. This isn't chaos, but a dance of profound interconnectedness, a silent ballet where the state of one subtly influences the state of another, creating a harmonious and responsive whole. In our everyday waking experience, we often perceive wild animals acting on instinct or in response to obvious cues. A bird sings because the sun is rising. A deer flees because it hears a predator. But modern observation and gentle scientific inquiry reveal a deeper reality, where animal behavior is profoundly shaped by a continuous stream of subtle environmental signals that remain largely imperceptible to human senses. These signals are like shimmering, transparent layers woven throughout the ecological tapestry, subtly shaping the actions and movements of countless creatures. Think of a flock of birds taking flight in perfect unison, seemingly without a leader, their movements choreographed with breathtaking precision. While we might attribute this to visual cues, there could be subtle shifts in air pressure, changes in humidity, or even imperceptible fluctuations in the Earth's magnetic field that act as silent signals, guiding their collective response. Each bird is like a tiny, sensitive instrument, exquisitely attuned to these nuanced environmental whispers, allowing them to act as one. Their survival depends on this constant, effortless reading of their surroundings, a deep connection to the very pulse of the environment. The invisible threads that connect wildlife to their environment are diverse and wonderfully complex. They include sensitivities to atmospheric pressure changes, even minute ones that precede a distant storm. Many animals, particularly birds and fish, are thought to possess baroreceptors that allow them to sense these subtle shifts, long before the clouds darken or the winds pick up. For a fish, a sudden drop in pressure might signal impending turbulent waters, prompting it to seek deeper, safer havens. For a bird, it might mean adjusting migratory paths or finding shelter well in advance of a tempest. This isn't a conscious calculation, but an ancient, evolved response, a quiet wisdom encoded in their very being. Then there are the subtle changes in electromagnetic fields. Deep within the Earth, the churning of its molten iron core generates the planet's magnetic field, a vast, invisible shield protecting us from solar radiation, geological stresses along fault lines, or the buildup of pressure before a volcanic eruption can theoretically induce tiny, localized fluctuations in these electromagnetic fields, creating imperceptible noise that might radiate outwards. While humans possess no conscious organ for sensing these subtle field changes, many animals, particularly those that navigate using the Earth's magnetic field, like migratory birds, sea turtles, and even certain insects, possess specialized magnetoreceptors. For these creatures, an anomalous flicker in the Earth's magnetic landscape might be a profound, unsettling signal, a subtle disruption in their internal compass, hinting at an impending planetary event, gently nudging them to seek safety. Consider also the unseen world of gases and chemical changes emanating from the Earth's crust. Volcanic areas, fault lines, and even vast geological basins can subtly, continuously release gases like radon, helium, or methane. These emissions might increase or change composition in the lead up to seismic events, as pressures build beneath the surface. To humans, these changes are odorless, tasteless, and invisible, quickly dissipated by the vastness of the atmosphere. But for an animal with an exquisitely sensitive sense of smell, or specialized chemoreceptors, these subtle atmospheric shifts might be like a distinct, unsettling whisper on the wind, a faint change in the very scent of the air, signaling an unseen alteration deep within the ground. It's like a quiet, continuous exhalation from the earth itself, and certain creatures are uniquely attuned to its delicate fragrance. The very ground beneath their paws or feet also serves as a canvas of subtle information. The Earth's tectonic plates are never truly still. They are constantly grinding, sliding, and pushing against each other. These movements, though too slow for us to feel, generate low-frequency vibrations and microtremors that ripple through the ground. Animals with sensitive vibratory receptors like snakes, which can hear through their jawbones, or elephants, which feel through their feet, might perceive these imperceptible ground tremors as a distinct, unsettling signal. A profound shift in the planet's usual rhythmic pulse, indicating deep geological stress. This is a subtle, continuous conversation between the animals and the very lithosphere, a language of quiet vibrations. This profound connection between wildlife and its environment, woven through invisible threads of sensory perception, suggests that animals are not merely reacting to direct threats, but are often responding to precursory signals that escape human detection. Their behavioral changes, sudden migrations, unusual restlessness, seeking higher ground, or fleeing from seemingly safe areas are not random acts of panic. Instead, they are finely tuned, ancient responses to the Earth's quiet whispers, interpreted through senses honed by millions of years of evolution. It's a testament to the fact that survival has ingrained within them a deep, intuitive wisdom about the planet's subtle language, making them its most attentive listeners. This contemplation of the woven fabric of wildlife and its invisible threads of environmental connection is not meant to stir alarm or present a definitive answer to the question of animal prediction. Instead, it invites a deeper appreciation for the intricate web of life on Earth and the astonishing diversity of ways in which living beings interact with their environment. It's a gentle nudge to recognize that our human-centric view of the world is but one perspective, and that other creatures might perceive deeper, more fundamental truths about our shared planet, simply by virtue of their unique sensory windows. It calls for humility and a quiet curiosity, a willingness to listen to the whispers of the natural world, even if we don't fully understand their language. For within those whispers might lie profound insights into the rhythms of our home. As you drift deeper into the quiet stillness, let the image of this magnificent woven fabric of wildlife, intricately connected to its environment by invisible threads, envelop you. Feel the subtle dance of profound connection between all living things and the planet they inhabit. The quiet hum of unseen signals flowing through air, water, and earth. There is no urgency here, no need to grasp at concrete answers. Simply allow the profound sense of subtle communication and hidden depths to wash over you. carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of the Earth's resonant pulse and the animal kingdom's deep connection. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissipate like a wisp of mist in the cool, dawn air. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle, somewhat persistent hum of interconnected life. All is calm, all is clear, as the woven fabric of wildlife guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we gently drift deeper into the serene landscape of hidden perceptions, softly moving through the woven fabric of wildlife's intricate environmental connections, we now approach a fascinating threshold, the delicate boundary between profound uncertainty and the subtle whispers of premonition's potential. Imagine, for a quiet moment, a tranquil lake at dusk, its surface perfectly still. On one side, the shore is shrouded in familiar, comforting shadows, representing the limits of our human understanding of upcoming events. But stretching out into the serene darkness of the lake is an expanse where the first, almost imperceptible gleam of a distant lighthouse begins to appear, its light reaching across the vastness to hint at dangers or changes yet unseen by the conscious eye. This gentle, shimmering light is akin to the way animals might perceive the faint, precursory signs of natural disasters, not as supernatural predictions, but as exquisite responses to subtle physical cues that escape our notice. In our everyday waking experience, humans largely rely on scientific instruments and historical data for disaster prediction. We analyze seismic readings, track atmospheric pressure changes, and monitor satellite images. These are our powerful, yet often limited tools for peering into the future. Yet, despite our advanced technology, we often find ourselves caught unaware by the sudden, violent unfolding of nature's wrath. This is where the quiet observations of animal behavior offer a profound, humbling contrast. Consider the numerous anecdotal accounts that have accumulated over centuries, like soft whispers passed down through generations, describing animals exhibiting unusual behaviors just before a major natural disaster. Birds suddenly taking flight in unison from seemingly safe areas, fish leaping from the water in agitated schools, domestic animals, like dogs and cats, displaying extreme restlessness, vocalizing strangely, or attempting to flee their homes hours or even days before an earthquake, a tsunami, or a volcanic eruption. These aren't isolated incidents but recurring themes in folklore and local observations, like the faintest glimmers of that distant lighthouse. These strange behaviors are not interpreted as a conscious, human-like prediction in the way we might forecast the weather. Animals do not possess crystal balls or complex algorithms. Instead, the leading scientific hypothesis, approached with gentle curiosity, suggests that animals are reacting to subtle physical changes in their environment that precede major geological or meteorological events. Changes that are entirely imperceptible to humans. Their highly specialized senses, honed by millions of years of evolution for survival, are exquisitely attuned to these minute shifts, allowing them to perceive dimensions of reality that remain hidden from us. Think of the delicate sensitivity of the inner ear of many animals, far surpassing our own. A sudden drop in atmospheric pressure before a severe storm, or the subtle, continuous microtremors emanating from deep within the Earth's crust as tectonic plates grind against each other before an earthquake, might be felt by animals in ways we cannot comprehend. These aren't loud sounds or violent shakes, but gentle, pervasive shifts in their environment, like a slow, unsettling change in the very texture of the air or the ground beneath their paws. To a sensitive creature, these faint signals might be a distinct, undeniable warning, prompting an instinctive, ancient response to seek safety. Furthermore, that you imagine the subtle changes in electromagnetic fields or the release of gases from the Earth's crust. As geological stress builds before an earthquake, Rocks along fault lines can undergo changes that release charged particles, subtly altering the local electric field. Similarly, certain gases, odorless and invisible to humans, might be released from stressed bedrock. Animals with specialized magnetoreceptors like some birds or sharks for navigation or exceptionally keen senses of smell could potentially detect these minute environmental shifts. Interpreting them as signals of impending danger, for these animals, such a change in their familiar electromagnetic or chemical landscape might be a profound, unsettling disruption, like a compass needle suddenly, subtly wavering, hinting at an unseen disturbance in the Earth's quiet breath. The challenge for human science lies in isolating and reliably measuring these proposed precursory signals in a way that correlates consistently with disaster events. The signals are incredibly subtle, often short-lived, and can be influenced by countless environmental factors. It's like trying to catch a single delicate firefly in a vast open field. During a storm, its light is faint, its movement unpredictable, and the surrounding chaos makes it difficult to pinpoint. However, ongoing research, employing sophisticated sensors and careful observation of animal behavior, continues to gently probe this mysterious connection. The numerous anecdotal reports, while not always scientifically verifiable in a controlled setting, serve as invaluable inspiration. For instance, before the devastating 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, there were widespread reports from Sri Lanka and Thailand that wild animals, including elephants and flamingos, fled to higher ground hours before the massive waves struck, while humans remained unaware. Similarly, historical records suggest unusual animal behavior before major earthquakes in China and Italy. These accounts, gathered like precious, reflecting lights from distant shores, invite us to listen more closely to the natural world. This contemplation of animal premonition is not meant to be a source of anxiety or a definitive solution to disaster prediction. Instead, it offers a profound sense of humility and wonder at the intricate interconnectedness of life on Earth. It reminds us that our human-centric view of reality is but one perspective, and that other creatures, through their unique sensory adaptations, perceive deeper, more fundamental truths about our shared planet. Long before we do, it's a gentle nudge to recognize the profound wisdom embedded within the animal kingdom. A wisdom honed by millions of years of intimate dialogue with the Earth. As you drift deeper now, let the image of this reflecting light from the edge of uncertainty and premonition's potential bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within the animal kingdom, silently working to perceive, to adapt, and to exist in harmony with their environment, even as your conscious thoughts begin to softly dissipate. There is no need to actively solve the grand mystery of animal prediction. Simply allow this beautiful internal work of contemplation to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of nature's profound sensory world and the Earth's subtle whispers. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle mist rising from the calm surface of a quiet lake. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle, persistent hum of sensitive life. All is calm, all is clear. As the reflecting light from the edge of uncertainty and premonition's potential guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we continue our serene journey into the intricate dance between nature's subtle cues and animal perception, softly moving through the reflecting light from the edge of uncertainty and premonition's potential, we now turn our attention to the fascinating, often imperceptible, physical transformations that unfold in our environment just before a major natural disaster. Imagine, for a quiet moment, our planet not as a static, solid entity, but as a vast, living being whose breath and internal stirrings create ripples of atmospheric and geophysical shifts. These are not dramatic, visible changes, but subtle, pervasive alterations like the faint, almost unheard currents within a deep, tranquil ocean that animals, with their exquisitely sensitive senses, might perceive as clear warnings, even when human awareness remains blissfully unaware. We often experience our atmosphere as a stable, like predictable blanket of air, and the Earth's crust as unmoving ground beneath our feet. However, before a significant natural event, these very elements can undergo minute yet meaningful changes that are beyond the realm of human detection. These are the subtle precursors, the quiet whispers from the Earth itself, signaling an impending release of immense energy. For animals, these imperceptible shifts can be the difference between seeking safety and being caught unaware, a distinction that has been honed by millions of years of evolution. Consider the changes in atmospheric pressure before a severe storm, especially a powerful hurricane or a sudden, violent tempest. There is often a subtle yet measurable drop in barometric pressure. To humans, this might manifest as a slight feeling of discomfort in the ears, or perhaps a vague sense of unease. But for many animals, particularly those with sensitive inner ear structures or specialized organs, this subtle, continuous drop in pressure can be a profound physical sensation. Birds, for instance, are known to be highly attuned to barometric changes, often altering their flight paths or seeking shelter long before the clouds darken or the winds pick up. Fish, too, sensitive to water pressure, might seek deeper, safer waters in response to these atmospheric ripples, translating into aquatic pressure changes. This isn't a conscious calculation on their part, but an ancient, evolved response, a quiet wisdom encoded in their very being, urging them towards safety. Then there are the subtle geophysical shifts that ripple through the Earth itself. Before an earthquake, as immense stress builds along fault lines deep within the crust, rocks can undergo microscopic fracturing or subtle movements. These movements, even before the main seismic rupture, can release low-frequency vibrations and microtremors that are utterly imperceptible to human senses. We might not feel a tremor until the ground visibly shakes, but animals with specialized vibratory receptors like snakes, which can hear through the delicate vibrations transmitted through the ground to their jawbones. Or elephants, which feel through the sensitive soles of their feet, might perceive these faint rumblings as a distinct, unsettling signal. To them, it might be a profound shift in the Earth's usual rhythmic pulse, a warning that the solid ground beneath them is subtly altering its very nature, urging them to flee or find shelter. Furthermore, the silent, continuous release of gases from the Earth's crust along fault lines or in geologically active areas can subtly change. As pressures build before an earthquake or volcanic eruption, gases like radon, helium, or methane, which are normally contained, might escape in slightly increased concentrations or different compositions. These gases are typically odorless and invisible to humans, quickly dissipated by the vastness of the atmosphere. However, for animals with an exquisitely keen sense of smell like many mammals, or specialized chemoreceptors, these subtle atmospheric shifts might be like a distinct, unsettling whisper on the wind, a faint change in the very scent of the air, signaling an unseen alteration deep within the ground. It's like a quiet, continuous exhalation from the earth itself, and certain creatures are uniquely attuned to its delicate fragrance. And let us not forget the subtle fluctuations in electromagnetic fields. Deep within the earth, the churning of its molten iron core generates the planet's vast magnetic field, an invisible shield protecting us from cosmic radiation and guiding many migratory species. Geological stresses, particularly along fault lines, can theoretically induce tiny, localized anomalies or fluctuations in these electromagnetic fields, creating imperceptible noise that might radiate outwards. While humans possess no conscious organ for sensing these subtle field changes, many animals, particularly those that navigate using the Earth's magnetic field like migratory birds, sea turtles, and even certain insects, possess specialized magnetoreceptors. For these creatures, An anomalous flicker in the Earth's magnetic landscape might be a profound, unsettling signal, a subtle disruption in their internal compass, hinting at an impending planetary event, gently nudging them to seek safety or alter their course. These subtle physical phenomena, the atmospheric pressure changes, the microtremors, the gas emissions, the electromagnetic fluctuations are not dramatic, isolated forces. They are the Earth's quiet, continuous dialogue, often amplified or subtly altered by the increasing stress that precedes a major geological or meteorological event. They represent a symphony of faint signals, utterly imperceptible to our dominant human senses, yet potentially loud and clear to the specialized sensory apparatus of the animal kingdom. Animals, having evolved in intimate communion with the earth for millions of years, possess a wisdom encoded in their very physiology, allowing them to read the subtle language of the planet's internal dialogue, making them the silent, vigilant guardians of these hidden whispers. This leads us to the heart of the mystery, the correlation between animal behavior and impending disasters. While scientific research is challenging due to the unpredictable nature of disasters and the subtlety of the signals, numerous anecdotal reports and some emerging scientific studies suggest that animals do indeed exhibit unusual behaviors, hours or even days before major events. From elephants fleeing to higher ground before a tsunami, to farm animals showing extreme agitation before an earthquake. These observations, gathered like soft ripples in a vast ocean of data, invite us to listen more closely, to observe with greater patience, and to appreciate the intricate sensory world of other species. This contemplation of the ripples of atmospheric and geophysical shifts and their profound implications for animal perception is not meant to stir alarm or present a definitive answer to the question of animal prediction. Instead, it invites a deeper appreciation for the intricate web of life on Earth and the astonishing diversity of ways in which living beings interact with their environment. It's a gentle nudge to recognize that our human-centric view of the world is but one perspective, and that other creatures might perceive deeper, more fundamental truths about our shared planet, simply by virtue of their unique sensory windows. It calls for humility and a quiet curiosity, a willingness to listen to the whispers of the natural world, even if we don't fully understand their language, for within those whispers might lie profound insights into the rhythms of our home. As you drift deeper into the quiet stillness, let the image of these subtle ripples in the air and earth envelop you. Feel the vastness of the world of unseen signals, the quiet hum of continuous planetary dialogue flowing through air, water, and earth. There is no urgency here, no need to grasp at concrete answers. Simply allow the profound sense of subtle communication and hidden depths to wash over you, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of the Earth's resonant pulse and the animal kingdom's deep connection. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissipate like a wisp of mist in the cool. Dawn air. You are safe. You are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle, persistent hum of interconnected life. All is calm, all is clear, as the ripples of atmospheric and geophysical shifts guide you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we continue our serene journey into the intricate dance between nature's subtle cues and animal perception, softly moving amidst the ripples of atmospheric and geophysical shifts, we now direct our attention to a profound and continuously unfolding process that shapes our understanding the tree of animal behavior science. Imagine, for a quiet moment, a colossal, ancient tree, its roots deeply embedded in the observations of countless generations, its trunk stretching through centuries of human curiosity, and its countless branches continuously unfurling. Each new leaf represents a delicate study, a subtle hypothesis, a quiet piece of anecdotal evidence that attempts to explain the mysteries of animal behavior, particularly in relation to natural disasters. The clues we gather about animals potentially sensing impending events are like falling leaves from this magnificent tree, each carrying a quiet whisper of the long, patient story of scientific inquiry and our endless quest to understand the non-human world. We often observe animals through the lens of our own understanding, interpreting their actions based on human logic and motivation. However, the science of ethology, the study of animal behavior in their natural habitats, gently reminds us that animals perceive and interact with their world in ways that are often profoundly different from our own. Their behaviors are finely tuned responses to a symphony of environmental signals that we may entirely miss. When some animals exhibit unusual behavior before a natural disaster, it's not always a definitive scientific prediction in the human sense, but a powerful, ancient, instinctive response to subtle physical changes that their specialized senses detect. Think of a gentle breeze rustling through an ancient forest. Each leaf, while part of the same tree, might carry a unique pattern of veins or a subtle variation in color. These are the diverse scientific studies, the meticulous observations, and the intriguing anecdotal accounts that scientists and local communities gently gather. When some of these suggest that animals show a noticeable change in behavior before a major event like a sudden migration, unusual restlessness, or seeking higher ground, it's like a particularly striking leaf falling from the tree, catching our attention and inviting deeper examination. These are not definitive answers, but rather intriguing insights, nudging us towards new pathways of thought and encouraging further, patient investigation. The very essence of what drives this endless branching of the tree of animal behavior science lies in our insatiable human curiosity and the compelling, often mysterious, reports of unusual animal actions. When our meticulous instruments fail to provide an early warning for a sudden earthquake or tsunami, and yet local accounts describe widespread animal flight or agitation hours beforehand, it acts as a gentle invitation. It prompts scientists to look beyond our current, well-established models of disaster prediction and to consider the profound, subtle sensory capabilities of the animal kingdom. This is where the quiet work of systematic observation and data collection gently enters our contemplation. Scientists are deploying sophisticated sensors to monitor animal movements and physiological changes, hoping to correlate them with geophysical anomalies. For instance, tiny, non-invasive tags attached to animals can track their location, speed, and even heart rate, providing continuous streams of data. When this data shows unusual clustering, sudden changes in activity patterns, or shifts in migratory routes that precede a seismic event or a storm, it adds a new leaf to our tree of knowledge, suggesting a genuine physical precursor. This is a painstaking, patient process, like weaving a complex tapestry thread by thread, seeking patterns that emerge from countless individual observations. Consider the anecdotal evidence that has accumulated over centuries. Before the devastating 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, there were numerous widespread reports from Sri Lanka and Thailand that wild animals, including elephants, monkeys, and flamingos, fled to higher ground hours before the massive waves struck, while many humans remained unaware. Similarly, historical records and local folklore from earthquake-prone regions, such as parts of China, Italy, and Japan, contain recurring stories of unusual animal behavior: snakes leaving their burrows in winter, fish jumping from water, or domestic animals refusing to enter buildings just before major seismic events. While these reports are not always verifiable under controlled scientific conditions, their consistency and widespread nature gently compel us to consider their underlying validity. They are like ancient maps, filled with intriguing, if sometimes imprecise markings that hint at hidden pathways of knowledge. The challenge for scientific confirmation lies in the unpredictable nature of natural disasters and the sheer number of environmental variables. It's incredibly difficult to set up controlled experiments to test animal prediction. However, the gentle persistence of researchers continues to push the boundaries. Some studies are now using advanced techniques, like analyzing microtremors detected by sensitive seismometers in areas known for unusual animal behavior, or monitoring changes in atmospheric ionization and magnetic fields. The goal is not to prove that animals are psychic, but to identify the specific physical cues, the faint whispers of the earth, to which they are uniquely attuned. This exploration of animal behavior science, and the evidence it gathers about potential disaster prediction, is not meant to be a source of anxiety or a definitive answer. Instead, it offers a profound sense of wonder at the boundless ingenuity of life itself and its astonishing capacity for subtle perception and adaptation. It reminds us that our human-centric view of the world is but one perspective, and that other creatures, through their unique sensory adaptations, perceive deeper, more fundamental truths about our shared planet, long before we do. It's a gentle nudge to recognize the profound wisdom embedded within the animal kingdom, a wisdom honed by millions of years of intimate dialogue with the earth, making them its silent, vigilant guardians. This contemplation of the endless tree of animal behavior science, with its diverse branches reaching into the unknown, is not meant to be daunting. Instead, it offers a profound sense of awe at the ingenuity of life itself and its astonishing capacity for endurance and adaptation. It reminds us that our understanding of life's history and its future potential is constantly expanding, like the steady, silent growth of a mighty tree, reaching ever higher, branching into unforeseen forms, each new leaf a testament to life's boundless creativity. As you drift deeper now, let the image of this vast, growing, endless tree of animal behavior science bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within the scientific community, silently working to observe, to question, and understand the natural world in all its subtle complexity, even as your conscious thoughts begin to softly dissipate. There is no need to actively solve the grand mystery of animal prediction. Simply allow this beautiful, internal work of contemplation to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of life's profound interconnectedness with the earth. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle mist rising from the calm surface of an ancient lake. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle but persistent hum of scientific inquiry. All is calm, all is clear, as the falling leaves from the tree of animal behavior science guide you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As we continue our tranquil journey into the quiet wonders where animal behavior softly intertwines with the subtle whispers of the earth, having moved through the falling leaves of scientific inquiry, we now arrive at a deeply soothing and profoundly beautiful idea. The notion that the very essence of animal perception and their resilience in the face of natural events might arise from a state of astonishing, glorious simplicity. It's like the gentle, spontaneous laughter of a child, pure and unforced, revealing a profound truth in its effortless joy. We often associate complex abilities like anticipating natural disasters with incredibly intricate and elaborate mechanisms. But what if these remarkable sensitivities, these quiet wisdoms, bloom from fundamental principles so elegant, so beautifully concise that they whisper of an underlying unity in nature's design? Imagine, if you will, a vast open field, bathed in the soft, diffused light of dawn. The field appears simple in its expansive form, yet it holds countless seeds beneath its surface, each containing an elegant, compressed blueprint for life. When the conditions are just right, when the soil is soft, the light diffused, and the air still, these seeds effortlessly sprout, growing into a riot of diverse, vibrant life. The immense complexity and breathtaking beauty of the blossoming field arise not from an endless set of predetermined instructions for each individual plant, but from the simple, underlying potential of each seed, combined with the harmonious, fundamental laws of growth. Our understanding of how animals might sense impending natural disasters points to a similar, elegant principle. These creatures are not equipped with sophisticated instruments or complex mathematical models. Instead, their remarkable abilities stem from exquisitely honed senses and innate behavioral responses that have been refined over millions of years of intimate coexistence with the Earth. This glorious simplicity means they rely on the most essential, finely tuned mechanisms to detect and react to subtle environmental cues, stripping away all unnecessary complexity. Their continued survival is a testament to the idea that life doesn't always need elaborate machinery. Sometimes, its enduring power lies in its most fundamental, elegantly adapted form. Think of an intricate piece of music. The music itself, its melody, harmony, rhythm, and emotional impact is not created by an overwhelming cacophony of sound. Instead, it arises from the precise arrangement of a limited set of notes, played with specific timing and intensity. The power and beauty lie not in the sheer number of elements, but in the elegant relationships between them, in the harmonious way they combine. Similarly, the ability of an animal to sense a distant tremor or a subtle shift in air pressure isn't about processing complex data like a computer. It's about a few highly sensitive receptors, perfectly tuned to specific physical changes, triggering an ancient, simple, and effective behavioral response. This is the very essence of adaptation at its most glorious, a simple mechanism yielding profound survival benefits. This glorious simplicity suggests that life, at its most fundamental level, operates on core principles that are incredibly efficient and robust. The mechanisms by which animals perceive infrasound, for instance, involve large, sensitive ear structures or specialized internal organs that vibrate in response to extremely low-frequency waves generated by earthquakes or storms. Their physiological design simply allows them to detect these subtle, long-range planetary whispers that are beyond human hearing. Similarly, the capacity to sense electromagnetic field fluctuations or subtle gas emissions might involve specialized biological sensors, evolved to react directly to these imperceptible changes. These are not complicated, desperate struggles, but fundamental, graceful dances with the environment, relying on innate biological capabilities that are distilled to their purest, most effective form. Consider the elegance of nature's designs. A spiral in a seashell, the branching pattern of a tree, the delicate symmetry of a snowflake. These intricate forms arise from simple, recursive rules, applied repeatedly. Nature does not compute every intricate detail. Rather, it allows complexity to emerge from underlying simplicity. The remarkable sensitivities of animals embody this natural elegance. Their ability to respond to subtle environmental shifts is not a chaotic, random act, but a testament to an underlying order. A profound design that allows basic sensory inputs to drive complex, life-saving behaviors. It's the quiet laughter of adaptation, finding strength in its elemental grace, a beautiful testament to the power of economy and purpose. The pursuit of understanding these animal sensitivities often leads scientists to seek this glorious simplicity. When we strip away layers of superficial detail about animal prediction and find a fundamental, elegant biological mechanism that explains a phenomenon, that is when true understanding blossoms. The very fact that a dog's nose can detect molecules in concentrations billions of times lower than ours, or that a bird can navigate using the Earth's magnetic field, speaks to a deep, pervasive elegance in the design of living systems. The existence of animal abilities to sense precursory disaster signals is a profound example of this elegance, demonstrating that the very core of existence is built on robust, foundational principles rather than endless layers of overcomplication. It's a whisper that the natural world, in its grand design, finds profound strength and beauty in its elemental, unified principles. This understanding offers a profound sense of reassurance and wonder. It suggests that the continuity of life, Its astonishing capacity to endure and adapt is rooted in principles that are fundamentally stable and elegant. It tells us that even in the face of profound environmental change, the basic building blocks of life possess an inherent resilience, a quiet strength derived from their simple yet powerful design. This recognition can bring a deep calm, knowing that underlying the apparent complexities of the living world, there is a harmonious, efficient order, a whisper of a universal language that speaks of simplicity and endurance. As you drift deeper now, let the gentle laughter of adaptation, born from glorious simplicity, bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless activity within all living things, silently working to perceive, to adapt, and to embody their elegant designs. Even as your conscious thoughts begin to softly dissipate, there is no need to grasp at every intricate detail. Simply allow this beautiful, internal work of contemplation to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of underlying biological elegance. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle mist rising from a calm field at dawn. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle, persistent hum of life's fundamental processes. All is calm, all is clear, as the quiet laughter of adaptation guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As our tranquil journey through the quiet wonders of life's intricate dance softly continues, having embraced the glorious simplicity from which adaptation blooms, we now turn our gaze towards an even more expansive and deeply reassuring concept: the lullaby of an expanding biosphere universe. We often perceive ourselves and other living creatures as isolated beings, inhabiting a distinct corner of the planet, separate from the vast cosmic expanse. But what if, gently guided by the unfolding principles of interconnectedness and the profound sensitivity of nature, all life, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale, is part of a continuous rhythmic cycle, deeply woven into the very fabric of our living planet, and perhaps even resonating with the broader universe itself? It's like a serene river, not just flowing within its banks, but gently exchanging its essence with the clouds above and the earth below, participating in a grander, enduring planetary and cosmic dance. Imagine, for a quiet moment, our Earth itself breathing, a vast, living entity with its own profound rhythms. The seasons turn in a timeless dance. Spring brings vibrant growth. Summer offers bountiful life. Autumn ushers in gentle decay. And winter brings a period of profound rest and dormancy. Yet, even in winter's deepest stillness, the promise of spring is held within the sleeping seeds, the hibernating creatures, and the quiet earth. This is the essence of the endless life cycle, a continuous loop of transformation where one state gracefully gives way to the next, ensuring the persistence of life in its ever-changing forms. This familiar rhythm, however, is merely a whisper of a much grander cycle, one that encompasses not just the biological, but the geological and even the atmospheric, intimately tied to the very heartbeat of our planet. The ability of animals to perceive subtle precursory signs of natural disasters is a profound whisper from this grand, integrated biosphere universe. Their heightened senses, their capacity to hear infrasound, feel micro-tremors, or detect electromagnetic shifts are not isolated quirks, but rather exquisite adaptations that highlight their deep, ancient connection to the planet's internal dialogue. They are like sensitive instruments, perfectly tuned to the Earth's nuanced rhythms, allowing them to perceive impending changes that escape our human awareness. This isn't supernatural prediction, but a testament to life's inherent capacity for resilience and continuation, perfectly aligned with the planet's own slow, enduring rhythms. It's a quiet echo of the seed sprouting after winter, the bear emerging from its long slumber, or the caterpillar transforming into a butterfly, all part of a synchronized planetary performance. Think of the intricate web of roots beneath a vast forest. Each tree is connected to the soil, to the water, and often through subterranean fungal networks, to other trees, subtly sharing resources and information. Similarly, the entire biosphere of Earth is a living, interconnected network. Animals, with their unique sensory windows, are not just isolated observers of their environment. They are integral components of this planetary sensory system. Their ability to respond to subtle environmental cues, like the Earth's gentle breath before a storm or tremor, makes them vital threads in the planet's early warning system. A quiet wisdom woven into the very fabric of life. This understanding challenges our conventional, anthropocentric view of intelligence and perception. It suggests that wisdom is not solely confined to conscious human thought, but is also embodied in the ancient, evolved senses and instincts of the animal kingdom. The synchronized flight of birds before a distant storm, or the sudden agitation of elephants before a tsunami, speaks to a form of collective awareness, a shared planetary intuition that transcends individual consciousness. It's as if the biosphere itself possesses a distributed intelligence, a silent, continuous sensing of its own internal state, communicated through imperceptible channels to its most sensitive inhabitants. The very concept of adaptation and evolution, which we explored earlier, is an integral part of this expanding biosphere universe. Life does not remain static. It constantly shifts and changes in response to its environment, finding new ways to persist and flourish. When continental plates grind, or when atmospheric pressures fluctuate, life responds, adapting its senses and behaviors. This continuous transformation, driven by subtle genetic changes and natural selection, ensures that life remains vibrant and resilient, flowing through the vast cycles of planetary change. The perceived ability of animals to sense impending disasters simply adds another ancient dimension to this ongoing adaptive dance, demonstrating life's profound capacity to bridge immense timescales through its inherent plasticity, perfectly aligned with the Earth's long, patient rhythms and its broader cosmic context. This lullaby of an expanding biosphere universe brings a profound sense of peace and belonging. It tells us that we, too, are part of this grand, continuous flow, intricately linked to the very heartbeat of our planet and, by extension, to the cosmos itself. Our individual lives, along with their joys and sorrows, are precious notes within an eternal symphony that echoes the planet's own vast existence. Even as our own biological journeys unfold, the essence of our being, the information that defines us, flows back into the larger cycle of existence, contributing to the tapestry of life that continues through countless forms and countless ages. Always in harmony with Earth's grand, slow dance. There is no ultimate end, only transformation, a gentle continuation within the boundless rhythm of the universe and our living planet. This perspective is not meant to be a source of anxiety or a philosophical puzzle. Instead, it invites a deep sense of acceptance and serenity. It encourages us to surrender to the natural rhythms of change, of activity and rest, of planetary stirrings and biological responses, knowing that they are all part of a larger, harmonious design, orchestrated by the Earth itself. The subtle sensitivities of animals serve as a beautiful, profound reminder of nature's enduring wisdom, its quiet promise of continuity in the face of immense time and change, a timeless lullaby from the planet's heart. As you drift deeper now, let the image of this expanding biosphere universe bring you profound peace. Feel the quiet, ceaseless rhythm of existence, encompassing transformation, adaptation, and profound interconnectedness, intimately linked to the Earth's own long breath. Even as your conscious thoughts begin to softly dissipate, there is no need to grasp at control or to fear the unknown. Simply allow this beautiful internal understanding to unfold, carrying you deeper into a state of profound peace and restoration. Let your breath be soft and even, a tranquil rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in the quiet wisdom of life's eternal flow, a marvel of continuous cycles, in harmony with our living planet and its cosmic connections. With each exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing it to dissolve like a gentle mist rising from a calm river. You are safe, you are held, and you are gracefully dissolving into the quiet, boundless space of sleep, cradled by the gentle and persistent hum of the expanding biosphere universe. All is calm, all is clear, as the lullaby of life's enduring journey, nestled within the planet's deep rhythms and resonating with the cosmos, guides you into the deepest, most restorative rest. As our gentle journey through the intricate wonders of animal perception and the Earth's subtle whispers softly draws to its close, we arrive at the most serene of moments, the quiet transition into deep, restorative sleep. We've explored the whispers of deep slumber, illuminated the gentle haze of unheard sounds and unseen vibrations, and listened to the echoing breaths from the Earth's subtle stirrings. We've floated upon the woven fabric of wildlife's intricate environmental connections, bathed in the reflecting light from the edge of uncertainty and premonition's potential, and navigated amidst the ripples of atmospheric and geophysical shifts. We've gathered the falling leaves from the tree of animal behavior science and embraced the glorious simplicity from which adaptation blooms. Finally, we were cradled by the lullaby of an expanding biosphere universe. Now, in this profound stillness, we draw a final soothing connection between the extraordinary senses of animals and the grand, continuous dream of our living Earth. Imagine, for a final, comforting moment, our Earth not just as a spinning sphere of rock and water, but as a vast living entity, engaged in its own profound, cosmic dream. Just as your body yields to the rhythms of sleep, allowing for repair and renewal, so too does our planet cycle through epochs of geological change, of vibrant life and quiet dormancy, of immense shifts and subtle rebalancing. The extraordinary sensory abilities of animals, their capacity to perceive the faintest precursors of natural disasters, are not dramatic, terrifying secrets, but rather subtle whispers from this planet's deep, enduring dream, a testament to life's profound ability to persist, to find refuge, and to thrive across vast stretches of time. Beautifully integrated into the Earth's grand living tapestry, the very existence of these highly attuned animal senses, capable of detecting minute changes in their environment, is a beautiful, if somewhat humbling, reminder of life's astonishing interconnectedness. It tells us that the spark of existence, once ignited, possesses an inherent drive to continue, to find conditions that allow it to perceive, to adapt, and to ultimately respond to the planet's continuous dialogue. Animals are not merely inhabitants, they are sensitive instruments, quietly tuned to Earth's nuanced rhythms. Their ability to respond to subtle environmental shifts underscores a deep biological principle that life is not easily extinguished, but rather finds ingenious ways to endure through profound changes, a testament to its intrinsic power, even in places we once thought utterly predictable. Think of a cherished family heirloom, perhaps a delicate antique locket passed down through generations. It might be tucked away in a dusty drawer for years, seemingly forgotten, but its value, its history, its very essence remains intact, waiting for the gentle hand that will rediscover it, polish it, and bring its story back into the light. The subtle signals from the Earth, the infrasound, the microtremors, the electromagnetic shifts are like these heirlooms of planetary communication, often unnoticed by human senses, but faithfully received by animals who hold the key to their ancient language. This isn't a threat, it's a profound connection to a deep, shared history, a testament to the planet's capacity for enduring communication, a gentle reassurance that life finds its way to listen. This perspective encourages us to view the subtle shifts in our planet's environment, such as changes in atmospheric pressure or geophysical stress, not with alarm alone, but with a deeper sense of humility and awe. It highlights the profound interconnectedness of Earth systems, how changes in climate, geology, and even invisible energy fields can gently ripple through the natural world, reminding us of the planet's vast, dynamic history. It whispers that nature has its own long rhythms, its own cycles of subtle warning and instinctive response, far grander than our human timescales. Our role then is to approach these unfolding phenomena with respect, with careful observation, and with a gentle understanding of life's deep sensitivity, ensuring that our listening honors the ancient wisdom of the earth. The lessons from these extraordinary animal senses extend beyond disaster prediction. They speak to the enduring spirit of adaptation that characterizes all life on Earth. Throughout its long history, our planet has undergone immense transformations, continental shifts, volcanic eruptions, ice ages, and warming periods. And through it all, life has found ways to persist, to evolve, to adapt, to diversify, and to flourish anew. The perceived ability of animals to sense impending events is simply another chapter in this grand, continuous story of life's boundless flexibility. Its quiet determination to find a way, no matter the change. It is a reaffirmation that, in the face of environmental shifts, life does not simply disappear, it transforms, it listens, and it reawakens, a persistent, enduring dream. This understanding is not meant to be a source of anxiety or a prediction of a dramatic, perilous future. Instead, it offers a profound sense of peace and interconnectedness. It suggests that life in all its forms, from the smallest insect to the most complex human, is part of an enduring, cyclical process, continuously transforming and persisting within the planet's embrace. We are not isolated observers. We are integral threads in this vast, living tapestry, woven from the same enduring essence of life that allows animals to perceive the Earth's whispers and hidden signals. Our place is within this peaceful, ongoing planetary dream, a dream of constant, subtle communication. As you now prepare to surrender fully to the embrace of sleep, let any remaining thoughts drift away like tiny, luminescent dust motes in the quiet, cosmic expanse. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go. The journey through the extraordinary senses of animals and the Earth's gentle signals has prepared you, softening the edges of your perception, blurring the rigid boundaries between human limitations and nature's profound capabilities, between conscious knowledge and intuitive wisdom. Feel the profound weightlessness as your body relaxes deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you. Each breath is a gentle wave, carrying you further from the shores of wakefulness and into the boundless ocean of rest. The stars above, those ancient, distant suns, are now softly closing their eyes, mirroring your own descent into tranquility. Your mind, too, is settling, its deep processes working peacefully in the background, preparing you for the deepest, most restorative slumber, where all perceptions find their gentle, unified rest. Allow the concept of the Earth's enduring dream, woven with the keen senses of its animal inhabitants, to be the ultimate lullaby, a comforting truth that embraces you. Its vastness is now your warmth, its ancient rhythms your peace, its mysteries your quiet wonder. You are dissolving gently into this grand planetary dream, merging effortlessly with its currents, becoming one with the quiet, profound sleep of the senses, and the boundless, nurturing embrace of our living Earth. Rest now, deeply and peacefully. Let the silence of the planet fill your being. You are loved, you are safe, and you are drifting into the most restorative of sleeps, held within the vast, soft dream of the Earth itself, where all life listens, and all life finds its gentle, peaceful rest.